Good afternoon, everyone. God is good, right? God is good. Wanted to touch on just for a minute, though, about why I think, hey, Chrissy, why I think so many of us in this genre have such bad tempers, deal with anxieties, deal with issues with anger, all the intangibles. I think that, hello, ladies. Hello, Kitty. I think that you have to imagine the prolonged exposure of your soul and your heart and your mind to the details of these cases like we do. When you are studying you find yourself trying to draw closer to all of the details and all of the circumstance, and the bottom line is that when we get to where we think we want to be, all we're doing is exposing ourselves to the most nasty of all time. And we go looking to be helpful as we can, meanwhile knowing that each time we take on one of these burdens on our shoulders and in our lives, our real lives, that this exposure to these details, it makes us calloused, it makes us cold, it makes us quick to jump on the other. It makes us quick to make fun of someone's appearance or, a shortcoming, right? Like, I know we don't talk about people's teeth in real life. We don't go into Walmart and see someone in real life and talk about their teeth or talk about how, they're hunched back or, anything that God put in these people. Thank you, Rita. Anything that God put in these people, we don't go in our real lives and make fun of people for their shortcomings and for their afflictions. But here it's okay. I myself am not going to fall into that anymore. I've said that, and I stand on that. But I just wanted to give my opinion into why I believe we're all this way sometimes. We are all this way sometimes. Yeah, Ro. Hey, Cher. Right? I mean, come on, man. Why are we all depressed? Well, we're all depressed because, we want to be able to do things like help Summer. And when you help Summer and her folks aren't locked up in jail, man, you got to help them too. And so when you find yourself trying to help people, even though you may not like some of the things that they've said and some of the things that they've done and some of the things that they stand for, the bottom line is, when you are on the side of justice, you are going to take so much heat. You are going to have so many trolls, right? People say you can do this from over here and you don't have to talk to these people or those people. I don't believe that's correct. I believe in order to be the most fruitful journey, you have to go straight to the people that are involved. And I believe that you have to do all you can do until you can do no more, right? Once you reach your physical limitations, once you've seen enough to make a fair appraisal for yourself. Hooah. A lot of people, Cher, guess what? Cher's song last night, let me tell you what, I found it I found it to be a perfect personification of how I know Cher feels now, right? A lot of people saying, oh, Cher did this or oh, Cher did that. You're exactly right. She did the things that no one else could see and the things that no one else will ever see. And when Cher has had enough, it is well and fine for Cher to announce to the world that she's done. That is fine. I support her fully in her choices. Just like I would support any other supporter who decided that they had reached their limitations on what they could do anymore, right? I would still support you. I would not turn my back on a supporter who supported me and I support them. I would not turn my back on them. We would have conversations and we would do all those things behind the scenes, right? But do I feel like, now guess what? Do I think that Cher is going to run around and bash the family? I don't think so. I think Cher is just voicing that Cher has had enough of whatever the dynamic is between her and Donald. Right? That doesn't mean that she's giving up on anything. It means that she can still do the work she wants to do, but she doesn't have to be in contact with Don to do it. That's all that means. Let me tell you, and Don knows this too, and all the rest of you, I feel like you need to be reminded that any time through the course of this thing, Cher she's had to be the most fluid. And let me tell you why. Because I see people making really silly videos about Cher holding on to something for Don. She is not holding on to anything for anyone. That in itself is an atrocity, because that means if Cher is holding on to something, that means I'm holding on to something. And everyone else that supports Cher and that has insider knowledge of any of the conversations Cher's had peripheral to this, right? One of my main mottos is I don't handle tips. A little tiny tip, it weighs 1,000,000 pounds, right? So let me tell you what, Cher don't handle tips either. And if Cher has ever had a crooked hair throughout the course of this whole thing, don't you know she's turned it right into the TBI? I know you do. I know you know that. So what is all this today, right? Cher has always just been Cher. And that's always been good enough for Don. It doesn't matter if Cher feels like, or it doesn't matter if Don feels like Cher has went to the TBI with something Donald has said. He's still okay with what Cher is doing for him, for his wife, and for his daughter and his 3 boys, right? Now, does that mean because Cher has reached her standard with Don, does that mean that Cher is going to be, less than conducive to being helpful? Of course not. What it means is that the pressure that she's felt from the YouTube, the good people, the pressure she's felt from the YouTube, the really bad people, the pressure she's felt from Don, the pressure she's felt from whomever else, right? I mean, some of you's got to lay off. There, Cher said it. I'm not done helping Summer. I'm done helping her folks, period. And guess what? I may or may not decide the same thing somewhere down the road. But that doesn't mean I still don't love Cher. That doesn't mean that I still don't love Mark. That doesn't mean that Mark has the same opinion as Cher. We could all have 3 different opinions. Sometimes we do, right? So I hope that that explains a little something to the hundreds of correspondence I'm getting. Did you see what Cher did? Did you see? Like, these are people that aren't even subscribed to me. Oh, emails by the dozens from people I don't even know. There's only one message between us, and it's, did you see what Cher did? Yeah. And I support Cher. What am I to do? Turn my back on my friend? It starts to look like the same situation that Doug No Thanks and I had. We had a differing in opinions, a big, huge, crazy difference in opinions. But we weren't able to navigate that difference in opinions like Cher and I and Mark are going to navigate it. Anything they can do to hate Cher, right? You know, but let me tell you what. Let me explain something to you. And some people are going to say, oh, Benny's trying to compare Cher to Chris M. Well, let me tell you what. I saw Chris M's numbers plummet yesterday. Down close to, I looked twice. One time it was way high 87 or I don't know what it was. And then when I looked another time yesterday, it was 85.3. And now this morning I looked at some stuff and it's backed up to 85.9. Right? So what does that mean? Are those all new subscribers? No. Those are the ones that unsubscribed and then thought about it for a minute and they realized that they can't navigate the true crime community unless they ride Chris M's back. So they all resubscribe, right? So I guess what I'm trying to get you to understand is the redeeming qualities that we all have. All of us have redeeming qualities. God put that into us. God put faith and forgiveness. Those should be the main two things that we ride on, right? The main two. Let me tell you another thing, and then I'm going to jump off here. I'm trying to get something prepared for later on. I may or I may not. I may just come on to, just kick it with the peoples, man. My son he's having some anxiety, I can tell. He's got a very short fuse. He's up and he's down. And then while he's up, the stuff running out of this kid's head is just phenomenal. It's coming out by the buckets. And so right now, the main fight right now is to keep him from wiping his nose and then going to touch everything while he's, up, feeling well and up. And he'll be up for a minute and then you can tell he'll just start to get pissy. And then he's, he'll cry and then, the nose gets to going even more. And it's just, it's a tightness in his chest. It's not like it's a solid cough with like a rattle on the end of it or anything. It's just like his whole chest is just a solid block. But yeah, guys, it's really important, I guess, I'm seeing at this point in time. It is actually very important. Okay, I saved it. I was about to die. It's very important for us to practice our forgiveness. That's all it is. Ray Sean and I'm not saying that Ray Sean and I don't have a problem still. We may, I don't know. But even Ray Sean, a lot of you won't be familiar with that, but Ray Sean even made a video praying for my son, man, and that's awesome, right? Like, thank you, Ray Sean, bro. Like, thank you, bro. Like, it's... I've had so many conversations with people behind, like, guess who called me last night? Don B called me last night and he was like, hey bro, everything aside, man, I heard the news. And he's like, man, I'm really, really sorry. And I'm praying for you, brother. And I realized a lot about myself by all the people that showed me forgiveness first. Chasing Justice, Gulf Coast Girl, Ray Sean, right? I mean, just Don B, right? Like, just like I see the humanity in the people that I thought were nasty before. And you know what's crazy about seeing someone's humanity in that way in real life? You look at the things they do online and it's like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, right? Like, yes, I'm not abandoning the way that I feel about jury pool protection and, the things that you guys know that I stand for, right? I still stand for those things. But just the way that the people that have come to me with blessings and love after we've battled it out, like, that's just led me to a different understanding today. It just kind of has. It's like commingle, right? Like, okay, Benny, well, guess what? I don't like that my neighbor does air conditioners and leaves fucking nuts, bolts, and screws everywhere, but I love the guy, right? Like, has he contributed to some nails and screws in my tires? Maybe. But I love the guy. And so those things I take in stride with it, right? Like, okay, so Ray Sean, and it's like the birth of a new opportunity, of a new relationship, right? Like, do you know? I don't know. Like, I woke up this morning in the beautiful Gulf Coast. She said, I just wanted you to know that Chasing Justice and I, myself, we stuck up for you last night and alive. I just was like I've had so many awesome feelings that have come from dealing with people that I've had nothing but trouble from. And I felt just so confident, like, you know what? Like us, like, I heard the Petito family statement today. And I don't remember if it was the dad or the stepdad, but he said, one of the dads said, we're thankful for the YouTubers and the TikTokers and the Snapchatters. And I thought to myself, I was like, ordinarily, I would say, Mr. Petito, sir, no, you're going to encourage them on. But today, encourage them on. Encourage them on, right? I wish nothing more than for myself, AB and Doug. Do you know like what kind of powerhouses we could start putting together if we would all just forgive and forget? You know what I mean? Like me and Doug, oh, dude, we were awesome together. Like we could finish each other's sentences and when it wasn't about personal stuff, like it was me and Doug had it popping, man. And so man, I would love nothing more than for Doug and I to squash our differences and man, team up when we can. To find these missing people, man, exactly. AB, man, I hope that you can accept an apology from me. If you'd like, sir, you can call me and I genuinely, bro, like we put it together and man, there isn't no child, no missing person we couldn't find because we'd all be working together and there'd be no downtime arguing. We have to do this. We must come together. We have to, guys. Like it is imperative that we come together. And then you know what I think the standard is after that is that once we can get the community together, part of the code of ethics, it should be you just don't deal with creators in real life. if you know, and you take your own self-appraisal and you know that you have a hard time dealing with other creators, then that be a rule, that'd be an optional rule that you would adhere yourself to. Yeah, I am one of those people. Like, there are certain things that people could be doing in their real life that if I didn't know about it, it wouldn't be my business, right? So, like, seriously, we have to. I mean, it's way past time. Sorry, way past time. Like, I never thought ever that I would feel this way. I never thought that I would feel excited and confident and anxious free about the fact that we could all get together. All of us creators, we all have our own specialties. And if we're all together, and then our believers and our followers and the people that believe, make us who we are, they also have similar interest in what we're interested in. So at that point, we start bringing, like, it's not just AB and Benny and Doug together at a table. It's all of AB's followers, all of Benny's followers, all of Doug's subscribers. And we all come together. And do you know what kind of beautiful thing that would be? Man, it would be a community where we could all proudly say that we've helped solve a case. No, man. Like, with just a little bit of, if we just stop with the hate for a minute and just show a little bit of love. This thing is not impossible. I know you guess what? The way I know it's not impossible is because of the people that have contacted me in the past 3 or 4 days to tell me that they are praying for me and they are this and they are that and praying for my son. And you want to know what? I automatically take that opportunity to be like, man, I apologize, man, for my behavior. Right? Like, when you got a lot of people pressuring you and you're not equipped quite yet with that next, piece of software that's going to keep you from glitching out on somebody, you glitch out. But then you have something pop up like this in your life, and you see the people you don't get along with online coming to you in real life. Like, it's cool to do it on YouTube. Don't get me wrong. But I've felt so much love in real life from people calling me up or texting me or emailing me. And man, I reciprocate that. I reciprocate that from the bottom of my heart, and with God on it too. Like, I reciprocate it to all of y'all, man. I feel nothing but love, man. Nothing. So, anyways, y'all, that's about all I got. I love all of you guys. Let's just move forward, man. Hey, Gonzo. Anyways, I'm going to fall back for the rest of the day, man. Try to push forward, man. Like, strive to do something better, right? Like, I have so much motivation to try to reach out to people that maybe I have offended against online and make an amends to them, like an honest, genuine amends, and then just move forward from there, like we would in real life. Why is this the place where we can be the most helpful, but also the most unhelpful at the same time? If we were as unhelpful in real life as we were on YouTube, man, somebody'd have been killed us already. Hoo-ah. Like, anyways, man, thanks for everything, guys. All the well wishes, all the love, I reciprocate it all back to all of you, right? Thank you. God